I lost 14K on my first drop with my clothing brand, and here's what happened. Okay, I'm gonna cover all the mistakes I made from marketing, manufacturing, product, pricing, and many more mistakes, so you don't lose all your money for your clothing brand or on your first drop. At the end, I'll share my game plan to guarantee selling out on my next drop and bouncing back from something like this, so you can also learn from this so you can be successful on your next drop or your first ever drop. So let's get into it. The product is key. This part of the process, you have to take your time with it. I would recommend take the longest with this part of the process, because if your product is good, it's gonna sell itself. Marketing is not gonna save a bad product. Okay, so if you have a really, really good product, but decent marketing, that product will sell itself. So when I say take your time, I'm literally talking about from the very first step. You know, when you're getting all the ideas together, you're brainstorming, you're getting ideas from Pinterest, from Instagram, everywhere, in person, you're getting ideas, you put ideas together in your head, you're brainstorming now, you're sketching on your iPad or your notebook or whatever, you got those ideas together. Once you get all those ideas together, and you come up with like a rough final sketch concept or all the concepts, share that with people you know, people who do the same thing as you, and mentors. It's good to have mentors or people in the same space as you to like be like, hey, here's this product I made, what do you think? And get feedback from many different people, not only from mentors, but the person who might wear it, a friend, you know, someone might tell you, okay, that looks nice, but that's not the same as someone who's saying that looks nice, I would wear that. You know, there's a difference. So you gotta get opinions from everyone, from coaches, friends, and people who do the same thing, from creative people, even people who are not creative. You just, you know, give fresh set of eyes on them and get feedback before trying to move too quick. I think a mistake I made with my product, I made something, one, that I liked, two, I only got feedback from few people, and I didn't really ask mentors or coaches or anyone like that until I already made the product and had the samples and everything like that. Now you don't want to wait. Even you might be thinking you have a great product and you're like, I don't want to show it to people, they might steal my idea. Bro, they're gonna see it anyways at the end when you drop it, and then they're gonna steal it. Like, you don't gotta worry about that nowadays. There's just so many different things you could do out there. Someone probably has already done it, so you don't gotta worry about anyone stealing it, okay? If anything, if someone does steal it, that just shows what you made was hard, and people will know you were the first one. You just gotta let the people know. So just ask people, get feedback. See, with me, I had a really, really good product, and I knew I had a really good product, and I'm hard-headed, so I didn't really ask a lot of people for feedback. But off rip, I had a really, really good product. It was too good of a product for where my business is at right now, right? I'm in the very beginning. I don't have an established brand. I don't have that established community. Like, I'm fresh. I'm a freshman, I'm a newbie. I have a good eye for designing and a product that I know people like, just because I have experience with this clothing brand stuff. I first started back in 2021 with my first brand, which is not live anymore. I'm focusing on this new brand and everything. But I've more experience than a regular beginner, you know what I mean? Because I've done this before in the past. So, and I've been in the fashion space for a while. I've seen a lot of different stuff online and in person. I just know if something looks nice, I just naturally have had an eye for it. So what I made was a great product. And even when I got the sample and I showed it to mentors, friends, family, people who would wear it, everyone on social media, they all loved it. They're like, that's a great product. Right? But it was too good of a product for where my brand is at. So for those of you who don't know, in my collection, I had a leather jacket as one of the pieces, and that was one of those like unique pieces in the collection. But I used real leather, one because this brand is more of a luxury brand, so off rip I wanted to start off like high end and use real leather. So there's a few mistakes in there. One, leather jacket is expensive to make, which means I have to sell it for an expensive price. But as a new brand, without an established community, social proof, no one's gonna really buy that from you at a high price, regardless of how hard the piece is. They just not gonna buy it from you. You have less than 1,000 followers. You don't have influencers wearing your stuff, and you're pricing it at a high price, like $150+ People not really gonna buy it like that. You know, you probably gonna have some people to buy it, but you're not gonna really go crazy with it. So definitely, that was a big mistake I made when it came to product. That leather jacket that I made would make sense to drop 2 years from now, when I've already established a big following, influencer marketing, all that good stuff. But right now, not a good idea. And I kind of knew it in the back of my head and going with like the gut instincts, but I kind of ignored it just because I'm hard-headed. I was like, I'm a come in, first drop, go crazy with a really high quality piece. But as a new brand, you can't sell something high priced, high ticket off the jump with no social proof. Now, mistake number 2, manufacturing. Now, manufacturing gotta be the biggest bottleneck for most clothing brand owners. It's the most headache type process of all time. And this is another thing you gotta take your time with, honestly. In my opinion, this is the part that I need the most guidance with, and the mistakes that I made. One, I want you guys to know, just because you're using a China manufacturer doesn't guarantee you're gonna have great quality or a good manufacturer or good communication or good anything just because it's a China manufacturer. It doesn't matter what country it is. Don't go off of countries, right? Because every country has bad manufacturers. China has bad manufacturers. Some that might even be worse than Pakistan manufacturers. But they also have great manufacturers as well. I just haven't found them yet because I know a lot of people use China. Also, what matters more is finding a manufacturer that specializes in what you're trying to make versus the country, you know what I mean, to determine a good manufacturer. And when you're sampling, let's say like I did, I was sampling 3 different pieces: hoodie, leather jacket, and pants. Make sure for each product you have 2 manufacturers. Make that sample for you. So at least get 2 samples made of each product from 2 different manufacturers. That's a big mistake that I made. So have your main manufacturer that you think is going to be the main manufacturer make a sample for you, and then have a backup manufacturer make another sample for you. And that first sample, they're both that first sample. If you get both, you compare them, which one is better, which one had better communication and turnaround time, everything was better, you go with that one. Mistake I made, I only did that for the leather jacket, and this is how I kind of learned that I need to do this for every piece. Because with the leather jacket, I had a Pakistan manufacturer who specialized in leather goods, and I had a China manufacturer that pretty much made everything. They didn't really specialize in one thing. And the leather jacket I got back from Pakistan was way better. And with the first sample they made, it came out exactly how I wanted. This is Pakistan, people. And it was the first ever sample. They're just great at making your sample exactly how you tell them to. In my experience, they have great listening skills. And they're faster. And they're a little cheaper. It depends on the product you're making. and negotiating with Pakistan manufacturers is easier. So the China manufacturer that made the leather jacket for me, one, used fake leather after letting them know we want real leather, and they confirmed they can do real leather, and he went behind my back and did fake leather. And then when I tried to get a refund through Alibaba, which I made sure I picked the manufacturer that has the refund policy. Long story short, we were going back and forth for a while. Alibaba is always going to try to side with them, the manufacturer, but inside the leather jacket in the tag, it said 100% PU leather, which is fake leather. And the whole time they were saying we used real leather, telling Alibaba they use real leather, and Alibaba was siding with them and all that stuff. And then I was like, bet. I don't know why it took me this long to figure this out and find the little tag. I took a photo of it, sent it to them, got my $400 back. So I guess that's one good thing about Alibaba. You can get your money back if they finesse you. If you pick the right manufacturer, it is just gonna take a lot of going back and forth and you having valid proof. But yeah, China is not what you think. The experience I've had with China manufacturers so far, one, they suck at following direction. Two, they try to gaslight you. Three, they just are terrible at following directions, and they will do what they think is right versus what you're telling them to do and what's on literally in your detailed tech pack. No, I'm a perfectionist, so I made sure my tech pack was very, very detailed, and they still messed up, okay? So that's just part of the game. Their manufacturers are just kind of dumb, even when you talk to them like a little kid. And make sure before you pay, you confirm every single detail with them. And once you've confirmed every single detail with them, then you can pay them. And on top of that, make sure you have trade assurance from Alibaba. I think that's what it's called, to make sure you get your money back. Another reason I don't like China manufacturers, they have so many holidays, bro. Like so many holidays, and that just slows down the sampling turnaround time, the bulk turnaround time, just the whole process in general, they take longer. And another mistake I made, make sure to request fabric swatches and all the colors and everything, because the photos it doesn't do justice. It looks a certain way in the photo of the fabric they sent you, but in person it looks completely different. So make sure, especially if you're doing cut and sew pieces, get the swatches from them, check it out yourself, and then pick it out. It might take a little bit longer, but you want to make sure you make a good product, so people who buy it come back and buy from you again. You don't want to just give it 50%, half in and half out, and burn customers, right? So don't want to do that, especially with nowadays how many people and how much online clothing brands, Instagram brands, TikTok brands or whatever have such a bad rep because of pre-orders and quality and all that stuff. So you want to make sure you don't finesse your people and the people who buy from you. So get fabric swatches, make sure it comes out exactly how you want, make sure you have the right material, because that makes a huge difference. The material itself makes a huge difference on how the garment looks. These two samples of each product, have a main manufacturer and have a backup manufacturer just in case. And then you can compare the two and go with the one you like the most. I only did that for my leather jacket, but for my pants and hoodies, I did not do that. And the China manufacturer did a terrible job, completely messed up the hoodie and the pants. The material was trash. There was a lot of loose threads. Details were off a little bit. The custom button was not it. Everything was just pretty much off. And I was kind of screwed because drop date is coming up and I don't have a backup manufacturer. So it's like, do I go with this shitty product or push back the drop date and find another manufacturer? Which is what I had to do. So that's another mistake. Because of the manufacturer, I had to push back the drop date. So instead of dropping in like November, December, bro, I had to drop in January when no one is shopping because they spent all their money. So manufacturing is a headache, but those are the mistakes I made, and make sure you don't make those mistakes and learn from the fat mistakes I made. So mistake number 3, marketing. Okay, this is like top 3 big things when it comes to your clothing brand. Number 3, marketing. I relied only on Facebook ads. Okay, so paid marketing, specifically Facebook ads, mainly on Instagram. Okay, so when you run meta ads, you have the option to do Facebook and Instagram, but I only did just Instagram just because I feel like that's where my target audience is mostly at. So that was a mistake for me as a new brand because one, I was selling a high ticket product. Facebook ads is kind of harder to sell and get sales and conversions when you're selling a more expensive product, especially when you don't have the social proof. Okay, so I already knew I should have done influencer marketing to build up that social proof, even in like the very beginning stage before I even created my drop and designed it. I told myself I need to focus on influencer marketing. But once I realized I wanted to make a leather jacket and how expensive it was, and with my budget, I couldn't do influencer marketing because it's so expensive to make a leather jacket, and I was just gonna lose out on so much money, and it was just gonna be a lot of money trying to send a leather jacket out to so many influencers, and some of them might not even make content with it. So all these mistakes literally tie in together because mistake 1 was it was a high quality, expensive leather jacket, expensive to make, and because of it being expensive, I couldn't afford to send it out to influencers to make content and market for me. And I was going heavily on Facebook ads instead. So definitely, this is why you should start with a more entry-level item that's a little bit cheaper. Even if your brand is like a luxury brand, you can't start off with a luxury product off the rip, off the jump. You gotta work your way up to that, okay? So definitely for your drop, make sure you do influencer marketing and Facebook ads. For my next drop, what I'm gonna do is order a bulk of 100 pieces, send 50 pieces out to different influencers, have them make a bunch of content for me. I'm gonna get a bunch of content because I'm sending it out to 50 influencers. Okay, and then the 50 I have left, now I have products on hand to be able to ship ASAP as soon as I get an order. So now I can have at least 50 lifetime customers. Okay, LTV is key. Okay, when it comes to building a business, having those lifetime customers. And let's say if you're doing pre-order and it's all pre-order, you're not gonna have a lot or many lifetime customers, because once they get their product after a month or 2 and they realize how long it took, they're not gonna want to come back. They're like, dang, I'm not waiting 2 months for another product. By the time it's the next season, when I get it, winter is over, it's summertime. So that's what that allows you to do, have at least 50 pieces to send out ASAP. So you're not doing all of them as pre-order. So that'll definitely help you. But yeah, influencer marketing and Facebook ads, combine those two, much better than just relying on Facebook ads. Mistake number 4, I paid a lot of money for a male model from an agency because there isn't a lot of male models out there, so I had to go through model agencies to find a model and pay for it. I found a good model that fit the vibe of the brand pretty well, but it was hella expensive. As a new brand, I definitely don't recommend it because you would rather take that money and invest it into future drops, marketing, influencer marketing, things of that nature. So definitely, if you have friends who are decent looking to be a model, have them model, or just find a stranger at the gym or something on the streets, just go and talk to someone. Me, I'm a perfectionist. I was very picky. I was looking for a certain look, and I didn't know anyone with that certain look. So I went to an agency to find it. But for my next drop, I am probably not gonna do that. I'm gonna try to find someone just by asking around or in person, going up to people. Yeah, or on social media. That's what I'm gonna do, because I spent a lot of money on models, I'm not gonna lie. And even I spent a lot of money on the location shoots. I booked 3 studio sessions, 4 in total, because I did 1 lifestyle shoot inside this like house on Pier Space. They were also on Airbnb. Funny story. So I booked it with Airbnb because it was cheaper on Airbnb versus the Pier Space, which is like event space website where people rent out space for you to do music videos or photo shoots or whatever. So it was more expensive on there, so I was like, let me go to Airbnb. Now this was my first time ever booking something on Airbnb. I don't use Airbnb, and I didn't know it was a rule where you can't do any photo shoots in the Airbnb for marketing or whatever. I didn't know that, but I booked it through the Airbnb site just because it was cheaper on there. And then once I got there, started to take photos. The guy found out, I don't know how, I don't know if he was stalking us because he lived next door or something or what, but he's texted me. He's like, I see flashes, you guys are not doing a photo shoot in there, are you? Or that's against the rules, blah, blah, blah. Being a Karen. And I tried to play it off, and he was like, no, you can't do that. And he sent me the link for the Pier Space, made me pay I paid $500 for like 3 hours, like 3 hours or so. And basically he made more money off of me because on Pier Space it was more expensive. You're paying on the hourly. But yeah, another mistake I made was that. Make sure you guys don't make that same mistake. Okay, so lost a lot of money with models and location shoots. Next time I definitely got to be more smarter with the models and picking out, the locations. I'm kind of picky, so I'll probably still go through Pier Space, or if I can find somewhere outside. If I do, I could do that. But what will help you with this and help you save more time is just by doing influencer marketing. Because the reason I booked 4 studio sessions in total, this kind of ties back to influencer marketing, is because I made all the content myself. I was kind of making the influencer marketing, whatever, even though I'm not an influencer yet. But no, I'm just kidding. But yeah, that's the reason why I booked so many studio sessions, because I went in the studio twice by myself, just making a bunch of content of me talking about the product, me making a bunch of product content for Instagram and TikTok for TikToks and Instagram Reels. And yeah, when you do influencer marketing, they'll make most of the content for you, so you're saving time and money and energy when you're doing influencer marketing, and you take the content that they made you and use that on your brand account and market that way. So this is why another reason social influencer marketing is good and very important and very vital to your business. And nowadays, most businesses do influencer marketing. TikTok Shop is literally influencer marketing. They pay a bunch of creators, small or big, to make all the content marketing for them. So influencer marketing nowadays is, in my opinion, is probably the best form of marketing, because people buy from who they trust. People buy from who they relate to, and they've been following along, and they want to be like. So influencer marketing is number one for sure. And the last and final mistake I would say is wasting a lot of money on random manufacturer lists from these gurus, and spending too much money on courses. Okay, now all these manufacturer lists that you're buying are trash. Okay, most of them are a list of manufacturers that hundreds of other people bought from the ad they saw from this guy selling his list of manufacturers, and they all contacted them. Most of the time they're not going to respond to you, and if they do respond to you, they have a very high MOQ, and don't do it. You're gonna waste your money. Trust me. I'm not the only one that will say that. My mentors say the same thing. Okay, but I was hard-headed and I still went and bought some. Because bro, I was struggling with finding manufacturers. It's so hard. And now I'm gonna talk about how moving forward to prevent these mistakes from happening, and how to go about it to get better results. Okay, so we're gonna start with the gurus and paying for manual lists and all that. What I would say is definitely having mentors or gurus is very, very important. Just pick one or two that are in your niche, that you relate to, that you've been learning from their free stuff, that you've been following for a while and you've done research on. Go with that person, or at least I would say just stick to 2 different coaches at most, because if you have too many coaches, you're gonna get different ideas for so many people. You're gonna have information overload, and you're not gonna know what's the right thing to do. So just stick to 1 or 2 coaches, and don't buy manufacturer list. Just getting into the manufacturing thing, how to go about that the right way. Next would be definitely getting manufacturers from people you trust. So if you know someone who's already used that manufacturer and they had a good experience with them, use their manufacturer. That's how I found my leather jacket manufacturer from Pakistan. Someone recommended it to me who had a good experience with them, and they were right. So if you have access to someone like that, definitely do that. But if you don't, what you can do is just go on Alibaba and pick out the right manufacturers, the ones with trade assurance and good reviews and all that good stuff, and all the verifications. Go through those. I would say just get a bunch of samples made from different manufacturers until you find the right manufacturer, and then there you go, you just found a manufacturer for you. Now that route is definitely more trial and error and more money wasted, but that would be the other way to find a good manufacturer if you don't know someone that could recommend you to one. So that's my advice on the manufacturer and how to go about that moving forward. We're gonna briefly go over influencer marketing. I kind of already shared with you guys how to do that the right way and why that is really good for your brand, but definitely take advantage of influencer marketing. One, to get that social proof, to save you a lot of time, energy, so you don't make all the content yourself and take the content from the influencers who made it for you. The game plan is to order 100 pieces, send 50 of it out to influencers, keep the other 50. That way when you start getting sales, you can send it out right away and build that lifetime customer. Okay, also when it comes to picking out influencers, start off with micro influencers. I would say anywhere from 10K to 100K, and definitely pick influencers who are in your niche. So if you're selling for example, like me, a more luxury type of vibe, I would target and contact influencers that style that way and wear those type of clothes. Okay, I wouldn't hit up someone who wears Y2K or that's kind of old, but like they wear TikTok clothes, or they wear strictly streetwear, or they wear like all black, like gothic Playboy Cardi type of stuff. Like that wouldn't make sense for me to hit those people up. Not in my niche. Their followers is not gonna buy my products. So definitely pick influencers in your niche, and don't just pick influencers because they have a huge following. Okay, that doesn't work. So when it comes to the product, like I said, take your time with it and do a lot of market research, product research. Look at different brands in your niche. Look at the top brands in your niche and see, for example, let's say leather jackets, right? Look at all the big brands who are known for leather jackets or sell leather jackets and see what they're making, and see, okay, how can I stand out from these other brands with my leather jacket and add a unique touch to mine. Just seeing how I can stand out against the competition, whatever little unique piece I can add to my garment to help me stand out is crucial, okay? It doesn't have to be, it could be anything. Like let's say you're making a hoodie, look at all the biggest brands with hoodies. And with your hoodie, make sure you add a unique selling point to yours. And when you're making your product, especially when you're a new brand, you want to see what is already selling in the market. So definitely make a product that is known to sell and people will buy, and then just add your own little twist to it. And on top of that, make sure your garment has one unique selling point. Whether it's like one of those inner silk linings for the hood, let's say for a hoodie, let's say you know it's an extra pocket right inside the front kangaroo pocket pouch to put your phone in, whatever to help you stand out. And then add little details that are already selling. Maybe it's a sun fade wash, some type of vintage look on the design that are like known to sell and people buy, that you see everyday people wear. Make sure you add those little unique things to it, okay? So adding your own unique selling point and your own unique touch to it that relates to your brand, and then just making sure you're making something that's already known to sell. And once you combine those, which is a mistake that I made, for sure your product will sell if it's a good product. So moving forward with the product I'm designing, I'm definitely making sure I'm already implementing those things. I'm already implementing things that I know are known to sell into my next garment already. And I'm adding my own little unique twist to it, and then adding my own little unique selling point to make it stand out. And again, take your time with this step of the process and get feedback from a lot of people before moving forward. Going off of that, to guarantee selling out on your next drop and having a successful drop for your next drop or your very first drop, this is what you need to do. So make sure you sell a product that most people or that everyone would wear. So what exactly is that? I mean, it's very easy. Graphic tees, everyone wears. Hoodies, everyone wears. Hats, most people wear. I can't because of my hair, but I know a lot of people wear hats. So start with those type of products, and it's guaranteed to pretty much sell as long as it's a good product, okay? Don't do what I did and start with a very unique product like a leather jacket, which is very niche and not everyone wears it, okay? You have to be on a different level to want to wear a leather jacket. I used to not like leather jackets 2 years ago, but now I do. So see what I'm saying? But a shirt, hoodie, hat, anyone, their dad, their moms, kids, anyone would wear that, you feel me? So definitely pick a product like that, and then add trendy touches to it that is known to sell and that people want, and then add your own unique selling point to it. And I promise you that product is going to do well. If you want to see what products I am releasing next to bounce back from this L, follow me on my Instagram, on my personal and my brand Instagram, because I keep you guys updated on that. And of course, on YouTube, I keep you guys updated fully in depth with the full process, like how I'm doing right now, like keeping it very real and transparent with you guys, and letting you guys know that I lost $14,000 with my brand. I'm just keeping it real. Like, this is not easy like it looks. Most people would give up at this point, but I'm not most people. I'm still here pushing, and I'm making this video and sharing my journey with you guys to keep it very, very transparent and share the truth with you guys. Most people, all people, everyone will not do this on social media. They'll lie about their numbers so they can, I don't know, like sell their course or whatever their intention is. But I'm here to tell you, man, like, I'm keeping it real with you guys. So appreciate you guys, appreciate you for watching until the end. So follow along for the truth behind running and starting a clothing brand, and running a clothing brand, and then scaling a clothing brand, everything, the whole journey, full A through Z. Hit that subscribe button, like, comment, share to stay updated with everything. But yeah, if you want Shopify for $1, that is in the description down below. And yeah, I'll see you guys in my next video.